Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Tarryn, the traveling trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training out of the greater Atlanta area, and for the very first time we're going to be joined here on GoTarryn TV by another wonderful health and wellness professional, also out of the greater Atlanta area, a holistic health coach, Haley Helveston, right here on GoTarryn TV. In the meantime, I'd like everyone out there to please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and while you're at it, leave us a comment, like the video, and share it with all of your friends and family. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. So stay tuned when we come back. Haley Helveston, a holistic health coach. All right, folks, we're back. Welcome back to GoTarryn TV, and as you can see side by side, as I promised, we're welcoming for the very first time here on GoTarryn TV. She's also here in the greater Atlanta area, and she is a holistic health coach. This is Haley Helveston. Haley, how are you doing today?
Hey, thanks. I'm doing good.
Good. Well, great to see you again. I got to meet you. I had the pleasure of meeting you for the very first time last week. And I guess that could be the first, introduction here for the folks watching for the very first time, or if they're meeting Haley here for the first time. I had both Haley and Kathy Marshall come out to one of my classes at Georgia State. Actually, a couple of classes you guys helped out with, and I couldn't appreciate that enough. I really do appreciate both you and Kathy coming out. I think that was awesome. And what was your feedback, Haley, of being able to come out there to Georgia State and guest lecture and guest speak?
I mean, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really good to get to be with students who are really passionate about nutrition and fitness.
Yeah, much agreed. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I thought you were very impressive. I found you very refreshing and enthusiastic. That's why I'm really grateful you're here. And so the purpose of today's interview, since this is the very first time we're talking, I think we only got a chance to talk for 5 minutes when we met each other. We're going to talk about that Georgia State class here, and for the folks watching for the very first time, if they're just getting to meet you, can you please start us out and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, and how you ended up here in Atlanta, please?
Okay, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I graduated from Alabama in 2014.
Right.
And I moved to Atlanta 2 years ago, and it's been amazing. And I worked in insurance for a little bit and just realized it was not for me. Mm-hmm. And now I'm a holistic health coach, and it's been amazing. I love helping people with their health and with self-love and mindset. I mean, it really starts with just making the decision to change your life.
Very good. Yeah, that's what it's about, is helping people change. So that's great, Alabama, and you said working in insurance, and so I remember you've told me this, but your father was president of an insurance company. You worked with him, is that correct?
I actually worked with a company that he helped set me up with.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah. And I think I asked you this, but I guess in a word, you found out that insurance just wasn't the career path you were ready to take. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. I love the people. It just wasn't the right industry for me.
Yeah. What do you look for, like, in a career path? Now that you're with, obviously here in Atlanta, set up as a holistic health coach, what is it that you like and find rewarding with being able to, like you just said, helping people change for the better?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like working with people one-on-one, and it really gets me, I get to know the person, and I really get to know, like, what are their goals and seeing their success. Like, I had someone today tell me he lost 7 pounds.
That's excellent.
Exciting.
That is awesome. 7 pounds. Wonderful. Every little bit counts, and that's terrific, Haley. That's great. I'd like to hear that. So going back to growing up in Alabama and then transitioning here, was that pretty tough being able to go from there and then move here to Atlanta?
I think for me, like, getting used to the traffic was a lot at first.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then I love Atlanta. I mean, there's so much going on. There's always something to explore and go to.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
Yeah, Atlanta's growing, and a lot of people say it's kind of like the Hollywood of the New South with all the film industry moving in here. And it's just so diverse. It's a melting pot. You got a lot of opportunities here. A lot of corporate offices moving here as well. But that's terrific. I'm glad to hear that. And so tell me, because I don't know, but how did you and Kathy Marshall hook up? How did that happen?
We actually met through a friend of mine, set me up with her. It was through networking.
Good.
She's kind of like a super networker too, so it's definitely all about who you know.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. I'll tell you this, like, as a personal testimonial, I think I mentioned this in front of you and the students when you guys came out, But Kathy, for all intents and purposes, has been my mentor and been a great network help for me, just being able to succeed in this field. And you're right. The way to stay on top is to grow some good relationships and who you know and build on those relationships. And that's terrific. And as I mentioned, Haley, anything I do to help you out, that's what I'm wanting to do. And, very grateful that you came out to Georgia State, and definitely going to ask you again to come out, especially when we do our nutritional course too. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that was really fun.
Yeah. That again, we just kind of got the feet wet a little bit there, meeting the folks, and there were, just to tell the people listening, but there were 2 classes that you guys helped me out with. One of them being Principles of Physical Activity and Fitness, and then the other class was Fitness Program Management. Just out of curiosity, and again, Haley, you could tell me, the second class was Fitness Program Management. Those were mostly seniors, obviously ready to graduate. Were there any differences or distinction that you could tell between the 2 classes? Just anything that stuck out, or were they pretty much the same? Or what was your impression of the students as far as, between the 2 classes that we helped out?
I think the seniors knew exactly what they wanted,
Yeah.
That one girl was saying how she wanted to own a restaurant. That was so amazing, her speaking that,
Yeah, definitely. I thought that was very empowering. I agree. I think that the second group was more engaging because, and who knows, part of it was a little later. The first class is at 8 a.m. for a lot of people, including me. That's pretty early, so it takes a while to wake up. But you're right. The seniors definitely did seem like they're ready. And I'll tell you this, too, Haley, because I haven't told you this since I got a chance to talk to you and Kathy but and I'll tell Kathy as well, the students loved y'all. I mean, you guys were amazing. You ladies. Good. Oh, seriously. I got so much good feedback. In fact, a lot of the students were telling me that they were very grateful for you guys coming out. They said that that was by far the best guest lecturing, that they were really happy to, it was just really fun because it was really, like I said, engaging. I think you and Kathy did a wonderful job of having a planned presentation for both classes. It was just excellent. And as being able to facilitate that and kind of sit back and watch it I learned so much in just those couple hours between both of you just up there. So I was really appreciative and grateful and amazed. I love being able to do stuff like that. And you guys really nailed it out of the park. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Haley, thank you. I owe you the thanks. Have you been to the Georgia State campus previous to that? I don't remember if I asked you that.
Yeah, that was my first time.
Yeah. It's huge. I mean, that campus is large and it's really big. And again, I think that's terrific that, we would love to have you back out there again and do some more guest lecturing. But that was a lot of fun. Now, let me ask you this before we jump into some other topics here. With nutrition, how was it that you got into that field and that you felt passionate about being a holistic health coach? Like, how did that come together?
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I was working in insurance last year, and really I kind of realized, they say you should be in an industry and a career with what you talk about the most.
Yeah.
And at first maybe I was like, well, maybe I should be a therapist because I talk about, relationships and helping people all the time. But then I thought, well, I really talk about health and wellness more, and I love that, and I get really excited about it. And I follow all these blogs, and I read all these books, and I listen to podcasts, and I'm constantly sharing articles with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up networking and meeting all these people and really just asking people, where did you go to school? And I ended up at the School Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And that school has totally changed my life. It is an amazing school. It's so much more than just nutrition. I mean, they talk about spirituality, and the power of your subconscious mind. It's really pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That's good, Haley. Did you have some good mentors there, or what were your biggest takeaways from that school that you came back with that you just were really appreciative of?
I think it's just the people I meet. Everybody I meet from that school is as passionate about health and wellness as I am. I had lunch with a girl from the school this past Sunday, and she's just as driven, as excited as I am about helping people with their health, and really all about just natural food as medicine. Because I've been going on my own health and wellness journey, getting off. I don't do any pharmaceutical drugs. I only take B12. I'm all into all natural everything. And I really feel like that has helped me tremendously.
Yeah, that's very true. I always think about it in terms of the American industry right now with food and nutrition and health and wellness seems to be geared towards just sending people to the doctor and saying, yeah, just get a prescription, you'll be taken care of. But I wonder, the nutritional products and living a holistic life seems to not get it's fair due and enough recognition, especially from doctors too. I don't want to just generalize all doctors like that, but do you see that in terms of is that a fair assumption that people aren't educated on the holistic / whole, all natural health ways of living a lifestyle?
Yes, I agree with that. Plus, I think a lot of people think what they're doing is healthy.
Uh-huh.
It's not.
Yeah, right.
And it's like when I used to have really bad anxiety and I was on anxiety medicine, and at one point she was like, well, you can take another pill to counteract the side effects of the other pill. And it was just like this ongoing struggle.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
now I'm kind of like, all right, well, I do yoga, like meditate, eat healthy. It's really back to the basics.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, certainly. It's incredible. Like, let me ask you this, Haley. Have you heard of that book, Prescription for Nutritional Healing?
yes.
Yeah, because the reason why I asked that, that book to me was like our Bible. When I used to manage a health food store, this is like going back 10 years ago, but people would come in and they would like give testimonials. They'd say, "Oh my God, I tried that flaxseed oil or that CoQ10 that you recommended, and I can't believe no doctor ever recommended that." Or like to lose cortisol fat, we could take B12 and B vitamins, and it's just amazing. Like the doctors, I'm not trying to just generalize again. I want to preface that, but it seems like a lot of doctors sometimes will just disregard that there are healthy natural products out there, and like you said, yoga, meditation, etc. But instead, they kind of bypass that and they just said, "Yeah, just take this pill and let me write you up a prescription, and or we could do surgery and that'll fix that." But it seems like that needs to change for sure. It just, that's my impression of it at least.
Oh, I agree. Because I just got back from a yoga retreat and we were all talking about how, I mean, if everybody did yoga and meditated, we'd be a different world,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So,
Much agreed. I love yoga. I've only taken like a couple of times, but I know I could tell the difference when I have done it. Oh my God, it's just incredible. I can certainly benefit from that. Absolutely. That's terrific. That's really good to be able to do that. Is that and let me jump to the next question here, Haley, about as far as exercise, fitness, what are your favorite activities? Like take us through your workouts and what you do to stay fit and for your exercise activities, please.
well, recently I've been lifting weights a lot more and doing strength training, and I
Okay.
love doing that. It makes me feel really strong.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
certainly.
try to fit in a yoga class whenever I can.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to do it more though because I love the mental health benefits of yoga.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
Certainly.
also like I love doing a dance class every once in a while. That's really fun. There's this class called Vixen classes. They're really fun.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar. Where are those? Are those in Atlanta then?
In Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
It's in
Okay.
Midtown. But it's just all about just like having fun. And the hour flies by. Like you literally dance the whole hour, and by the end of it, you're drenched in sweat, but you feel like you had fun, but also worked out.
That's terrific. Wow. Yeah. One more time. The name of that dance
It's
exercise?
Vixen.
Okay, in Midtown. I'll have to check into that too. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's the key is to get people motivated. A lot of people you'll hear, I don't like doing treadmill or I don't like doing the bike because it's hard. But hopefully, if they could find something that fits their needs, maybe that's the way to do it. But a lot of what we do is definitely motivation. And being a holistic health coach. Let me ask you this, Haley. What are the biggest challenges and obstacles that you've had in terms of motivating people? For example, have you ever had somebody that you've been working with and that it's just really hard to get it through to them of why it's important to eat right and exercise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even I feel like it's just being consistent and
Hmm.
then people realizing like, okay, you told me your goal, and then how do we get there? You know?
Yes. Hmm.
And then also, what are you willing to sacrifice to get there? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. It's all about, you're right. Sacrifice is a good word right there because hence the word working out has the word work in it. So it does take some work and eating right too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or just
That's
like you feel better when you do work out, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, and the flip side of the coin, if I don't get my workout in a day, I do feel kind of sluggish, tired, and kind of irritable. I just I'm not fun to be around. So I know, I'm right there with you. That it has to be budgeted in your calendar. Like for me, I have to write it in that I'm going to do it, or else I'll forego it. Very, very good, Haley. Now, let me ask you this: what are some of the long-term goals now? You're here in Atlanta. Take us through 5 years from now, what would you like to do in terms of growing yourself as a holistic health coach? What are some of the things you'd like to get done in the next 5 years?
Definitely. I really want to do more group programs.
Mm-hmm.
and I want to do a retreat. That's kind of something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You
'Cause there's
said, I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
no, oh, you were about to say like the yoga retreat I went on. Is that?
That's exactly what I was going to ask
Yes.
you. Yeah, you said you just got back from that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell us about that
Yes.
place. Like, how was that and where was that at?
Okay, so that was in North Carolina,
Okay.
right outside of Asheville.
Oh, I love Asheville.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Asheville is like phenomenal city. It was so
Oh,
amazing. But I really liked how they have so many vegetarian restaurants. It's really cool. But yeah, I mean the retreat we did yoga every day. We ate the most amazing vegetarian food. They had a chef cook us food,
oh,
like a
wow.
different chef every day. Yeah, it was so amazing.
Oh, wow.
And then
Wow.
we went hiking on Saturday. And then we had a seminar Sunday, and we went over like the guy talked about fasting and juicing and just how he has a lot of people come from Atlanta that he helps, and it's just really a lot of things he said are so basic, but it's things that everybody doesn't really know, like fasting. It's so important, but I didn't realize how important that is. So it was pretty amazing listening to him. I mean, we could have all listened to him all day.
Wow, that's interesting. And he lives over there, I assume?
Yes,
How long was the retreat for, Haley?
it was Friday to Sunday.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Was this your first one that you went on?
Yes, it was my first retreat. Yeah.
I'd never been on one. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. How often? Yeah, like, is that an annual thing that they do with that one, or are there others that they?
I went with one of a yoga teacher I know.
Oh,
But
okay.
that actual center, it was a wellness center where we stayed at. They do retreats there. Like they'll do like a juicing retreat.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They do a silent retreat too, which I thought was really cool because like you don't talk for Friday night, all day Saturday, and then half of Sunday.
Oh, okay, okay.
And that's really interesting. At first I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But when you really think about it, you get really alone with your thoughts and really start listening to, okay, what do I really want? Be calmer, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, certainly. No, that's good. You mentioned earlier when I was asking you, you talked about traffic, especially here in Atlanta. And being the traveling trainer of Atlanta, I do sometimes get more stressed out when I'm in the car. My blood pressure
yeah.
goes up, my heart rate increases. So I think that's why it's important. Someone like me who kind of gets worked up with that, maybe meditation, yoga, and a retreat like that might be, conducive to helping out and improve my well-being.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I have to listen to like motivational videos in the car, like a podcast or something. It's just focusing on something else instead of like I'm sitting on 285 for an hour. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a normal Wednesday for me. They're sitting on 285 for an hour. I know exactly how it is. Well, let me ask you this, Haley. I got a series of questions to ask you in pertaining to. I want to delve now and pick your brain into your passion for fitness. So that's the first thing I'm going to ask you. And you might have already answered this, but in a couple of words or sentences here, what would you say is your most passion in terms of fitness, nutrition, health, and wellness? When someone asks Haley, what is it that, why are you working in this industry? What do you find most rewarding? Again, like what would you say is your philosophy and your passion and take on it?
well, I say I help people with nutrition, self-love, and mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think that I love seeing the results. Like
Yes.
when he told me today he lost some pounds and he was so happy. I think that's really exciting for me and to know that I'm making like a positive impact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I also believe that like this industry can really change the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's so many people that have benefited from, or like with Kathy, like so many people that have worked with her, seeing, oh, they lost 50 pounds, they lost 20, and then they kept it off. That's so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, those were incredible before and after pictures, too. For the folks that didn't see that at the classes, she had Kathy on the paper, posters of the before and after of actual real clients. And you're right, we're talking like lots and lots of weight, some over 100 pounds. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, but yeah, some of those. The one in that first class, the woman, she looked like she was in her 40s, maybe 50, but actually Kathy said she was like 70, I believe. That was incredible. And then that other class too, with some of the guys in that before and after weight loss, and it's amazing to see that. I totally agree with you. That's just night and day. But that's great about the guy with 7 pounds. He's on a journey now, on a path that he's living the rest of his life, like that, which that's awesome.
I agree. And it's just being consistent.
Yeah.
I think for me,
Consistent,
yes,
yeah.
physical, benefits are amazing, but I would say it's even more the mental. Like your mental health improves so much, you know?
Yeah, true. It's hard. It's so hard. Yeah, I mean, mental. That's for sure. That's the other guy that we were talking about with Kathy. I think if you remember, it was that client that I was trying to get in. No, Chick-fil-A is not good, and da da da. And it's just that whole mental block, that mindset that I think some people just get stuck, and they're just like, I'm not ready to make this mental commitment, and they have the physical commitment there. They could do it. But I think you're right, and if they're not going to turn that switch and flip it and say, okay, I'm going to do this, then that's not going to happen. Yeah, I've seen that.
And I talk all the time about that with one of my clients too. It's like, if I love myself, I'm not going to eat unhealthy because I feel better when I eat healthy, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's like energy, too. It's like good energy you're putting in your body, and that's going to equate to, Are you a vegetarian, Haley, then, I assume?
I'm not a vegetarian.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I love vegetarian. I mean, my sister's vegetarian, so I eat a lot of vegetarian meals, but I still do eat chicken.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. Yeah, so you have one sister, then?
Yes.
If she's watching, we got to say hi to her. What's her name?
Yeah, Emily.
Emily. Hi, Emily. All right, that's cool. Well, vegetarianism and vegan is like the best way to eat. I think that's excellent. Yeah. They have proven that research has shown they have the healthiest lifestyle and diet. That's perfect. And that actually brings me to my next point here, too. So you hear this word diet a lot. And one of the problems with the word diet, obviously, is that it implies it's a temporary solution or temporary fix. So what would you say in terms of somebody that comes to you, Haley, and they say, okay, well, I want to go on this diet, and I'm going to try, let's just pick a diet. Let's just say Weight Watchers. Okay, I'm going to try Weight Watchers for 2 months, and I want to see results. How do you explain to them the difference between the word diet versus, like, say, a lifestyle?
Okay, so diet, a lot of people go, like a lot of family members I know, and a lot of people I know do that, and then you just gain it all back and more.
Yes, right. Yep.
It's even worse.
That's true.
So, it's just all about changing your mindset and changing your lifestyle to know, okay, this is the lifestyle change, and this is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, for the rest of your life. I like that. I think that's important. That's key. I'll give you an example, because when I meet new clients that come to me, and like, let's say I want to get married, so I've got to lose this much weight, and then I'm good to go. And I try to explain to them, okay, that's great. You're going to hire me until you get married. That's fine. But with or without me, post-marriage, you need to realize you need to be doing this for the rest of your life. And they kind of look confused. They're like, no, I just need to lose 20 pounds before my wedding. I'm like, no. You need to do this so that you don't get back those 20 pounds. This is what you need to do to continue. And it's like, I thought of, remember that example Kathy told us was really empowering about the guy who came up to Kathy and just broached the subject. And I don't think that she said that she ever trained him once, but it was just what she told him to do. And he had lost something like, it was incredible. I think it was like 40 pounds or something. And it was just amazing to see that. And that's just insightful. Like you said, the two key words that you used just now, lifestyle, mindset. And then before you said the word consistent, too. And I think that's important as well. They got to be consistent. And
tracking it, too. Because I can notice with me, like, I feel embarrassed when I have to write down, I had Arby's.
Oh, yes. Right. Yeah. Make them write it down, definitely. If they know they got to turn that sheet of paper into you and they got that pen, it's going to be really hard to write that down if they're going to be honest. Yeah, I agree. We just finished up with Halloween, of course, and, as you know, I did something evil and bad. I brought a bunch of chocolate and candies in for all my students sitting right there. That's my problem. If the candy or chocolate, whatever, if the sweets are out there, and if they're in my home or in my office, I'm going to grab them and eat them. That's my issue. That's my problem. So,
I feel you.
yeah. I think the big thing that I tell my clients is, like, just don't have it around. So, in other words, don't buy it. Don't make yourself tempted, and then you won't have to worry about that. But that's really, really good. That's excellent, Haley. And then let me ask you this, too. A few more questions. I'm watching the time closely, too, because I know we promised to get you out of here. What is on taps for the rest of the... We already asked you about your long-term goals. What about the short-term goals here on out? Let's say through the holidays, through the rest of the year. What do you foresee in the next 2 months as far as quick short-term goals before the New Year's?
I want the clients that I'm working with to hit their goals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. Awesome.
Just really keep, like, I have a few follow-ups this week, and just really keep them being consistent.
Excellent, excellent.
I
Yeah.
believe in them. So
That's awesome. That is really, really good. Yeah. And you know, that's the thing. Like they need you to do that to be a coach because they're relying on you for that accountability and that leadership. You're right. Believing in them, that'll do it. Let me ask you this, Haley, and a couple more questions here. So in terms of motivation, because we got the holidays, so what would be your best, strongest advice for people that come up to you and say, Haley, it's Thanksgiving, and they always have a lot of food at Thanksgiving, and this is the problem. I can't avoid it. Or it's Christmas. There's going to be cookies and holiday parties we're invited to. What do you tell them in terms of being able to attack that and best manage that?
I mean, I think my best advice is that you can have the dessert, but don't eat like 7 cookies, you know? I mean,
like everything in moderation, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, I'm right there with you, too. That's what I have to do. I have to just have a little bite, and then that's it. Like, just, yeah, that's how I am, for sure. But although I'll be the first to admit it, I have a sweet tooth. I'd love to have those 7 cookies if I could.
Oh, me too.
I have no problem admitting that. Well, Haley, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. And before we let you go, though, if you don't mind, let's get a few more things here. This has been a lot of fun. 30 minutes flew by so quickly with you, and you've taught us a lot, and it's been very insightful and engaging here. I've really enjoyed this. But before you get going, if anybody's wanting more information and to contact you directly and to connect with you or maybe see if you could become their holistic health coach, what's the best ways for them to reach you directly?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram and Facebook, Holistic Health with Haley.
Easy enough. Instagram, Facebook.
Helveston.
Okay, very good. Holistic Health with Haley. Try saying that 5 times fast. That's a challenge right there. Excellent. Well, we'll have that on the screen here momentarily when we fade to black for everybody. But again, Haley, I really enjoyed this. This was so much fun being able to get to know you better. And again, we've just been able to talk here in less than a half an hour and just meeting each other for the very first time. But I'd love to have you back on if you don't mind, be a recurring guest here. And let's have you back on next month and check in and do a whole 30-minute video just on nutrition. And that'll get us going for that topic. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, because I love to pick really smart brains like yours and get really good information on here for all the listeners. So this is very helpful. So Haley, again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you being on here. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Happy November, and thanks for helping us on here try to get more fit.
Thank you.
All right, Haley, thank you. And folks watching, thank you. We're going to fade to black now, and here comes Haley's contact information right now. We'll see you, Haley.